Hello darlings, we're back again checking out what's going on, and we are really bang in the 11th month, and the 11th month is orange, and November is Nuvi, the 9th month of the Roman calendar. So you know, September and November used to be of 1 month, because in the Roman calendar, 7 sept in French, that's why 7/11 is the same thing as 9/11, because September is the 9th month, but November is also the 9th, because it's November. So it's all very confusing, but it brings us back to orange. It brings us back to the energy of Mercury and Jupiter, MJ, the rulers of the skull and bone cross, and this end of transmutation that we're living right now. We're living the spin, and that spin is going to get very big from the 16th of the 11th, when Jupiter joins Saturn and Pluto to go into Sagittarius. So I've got a lot to cover, and this is just taking you through joining the dots. And we're going to start with the rugby match, which was on the 2nd of the 11th. So that is the official opening after Halloween of it's known in French as the Fetes de Morts. I'm not sure how that translates in English, the festival of death. So I wasn't following the rugby, but the rugby is a perfect example of everything I've been talking about, merging of this red and white with green. This is, you know, the Pan Man, this is Mercury, and as I said in the last video, on 11/11, Mercury will be crowned king. So this rugby match that was on this Fete de Morts, let's have a look at it here. So we finished off with Judgment. We had Venus and Mercury, Heart and the Feather on the scales. We had that combustion of the Moon and Jupiter on the 13th sign. We had the Sun still in Virgo, and then we move on, and here we on the 111. I think that even might be on the 111. The Sun might move into, yeah, it moves into Libra. Does it move in on the 111 triple goddess? So 1 is also a 7, and it's also L, and it's also J, which we've covered. So the Sun, let's just see, it moves into Libra on that 111. So it moves in on the 111, and then on the 2nd, it's fully in Libra. This is what we're going to be talking about, Mars coming up all alone in Virgo onto Spica. But so for this rugby match, this is the lineup we've got. We've got Mars all alone in this Virgin. And Mars is, you know, he's about to have his way with Virgo to have his baby. And this is, yeah, anyway, we'll come to that. I'm going to show you all that. So for the rugby match, the result was 12-32. So this gives us 3 and 5. 3 and 5 is the 3 phases of the moon with the 5-pointed star, which is the famous flag of Islam. The wheel cycle ends. 12 is 3, 32 is 5. 23 DNA twin strand towers merged. That is the Mandela High Priestess, 5 and 3 black magic. 5 and 3 is the 8, Horus Boreas, Aleph Tav, Catch 22, Crucifixion, red, white, fire and ice merge as one with green. So those are the phases we've covered, 11, 11, 11, 12, 11, 13. We're going to look at that again. MJ, Mercury, Jupiter, take over the four corners, continent, Sirius the Great returns. Uranus is, during all this period, on the 33rd degree. He's retrograding at the moment from Pisces back into Aries, he's retrograding in Aries. He's in Aries now for the next 7 years, but he's on that 33rd degree that I'm going to be showing you, which is the crucifixion. So these are, so Mercury, Jupiter take over the four corners, continent, Sirius the Great returns, Sirius the Dog Star, Ra Star, Rasta, Lion, Zion is positive, iron to kill the negative copper, Romanus and Remus, the Roman Republic is 1818, so RR is the 18th number, is the 18th letter. 18 and 18 is 9, so we've got the 9 and the 6, and 18 plus 18 is 36 or 39. So you can flip over that 9 and that 6, which brings us to the amount of people killed in the video I made about Momo, and you can go back and watch all those. We've come out of the double black moon in Virgo. Now there's just Mars all alone in Virgo. Everyone else has moved on into Libra. So this gives us the 369, 3639. Mercury, Jupiter, rule mutable skull and bone cross. 1116 is a major date, yes, because Jupiter moves into Sagittarius. But all these dates from the 11th to the 23rd is what I'm going to take you through. And all of them are mirroring 9/11 because if you use 111, this one can become a slash without my little slash there. So we've got 11 slash 6 can also be the 9, and that is the same thing for the 17. The 17 becomes 1 and 7. Is 8, so we go to the 90. Anyway, I'm going to be taking you through that. I'm sorry, I've just got so much that I'm thinking of to bring you through. So it's a major date. Jupiter rises to become king of the jungle, planets of the 8th, chaos. South Africa, the longitude latitude of South Africa is 30 and 22. So 0 doesn't count. That's 322 skull and bones. It is directly south of England. North node of the dragon Rahu is in Gemini 3, and south node is in the north Ketu 9. So we've got the head and the tail of Rahu Ketu, north-south node in head in 3, third house Gemini, and the tail in the 9th house. Again, this is the 39 or the 36, as it was for 9/11, we know. And voila, okay, so South Africa, where jolly green, giant green, so red, white now merged with green, green man, Pan, birth of the 6/6 Baphomet. Okay, let's just have a quick look at these pictures, and I'm going to take you on because there's so much to cover. I'm not sure what this represents, but that's interesting. 42 is the symbol of Jupiter. 15 is always talking about Mercury because it's the 3rd house, but if you go back around the wheel is the 2nd time, it becomes the 15th. 15th is always 7, got the 2, and the 1-3, which is this famous 13th fake sign that I've told you all about, that we don't want to get trapped in, we want to leave the wheel. So RR 1818 is 36 or 39. And I'll be showing you more of this. This is the 5 and the 3, so the rugby result is 1232. So 1 and 2 is the 3 phases of the moon, and 32, 3 and 2 makes 5. So that's the 322 skull and bones. And this is what we don't want to get closed in, this fixed 5-pointed star. We're going into the 5th age from since the floods. So this is what they want to trap us in. We want to get into the Twin Peaks. Okay, here we've got the Anki. We've got this T. You can read that. It brings us back to this 8 again, and the worship of the bull, which is here. We've got the moon, present moon, and this is Aldebaran. Okay, the West is the best in the doors, the end. So the West is the East, the beast, the best, the beast. It's the same thing. They're going to be merging as one. That's a red and white. That's just me showing the red, white and green. It's 11. Okay, and this is the 369. Okay, the sine wave, the sin. And this is where we are. We are at the I am the first and I am the last. And this is the attempt of Ra. It's the T. Okay. We've got the 369. And this represents, you know, taking over the phases of the sun and the moon and keeping us trapped in the sun and the moon, which means opposite the Twin Peaks that we're going into. Aquarius, Capricorn is underneath Cancer and Leo. This is the what 369 wants to keep us in that 8. So this is the head and the tail in this Rahu, Ketu, in Gemini, the head in Gemini, and the tail in Sagittarius. Okay, just to show you those pictures. So we move on. 11. So we've now got until, so this is the same thing as 1111, because 2 is 2 1s, 1 1, and we're coming up to the 1111, which is the crowning of Jupiter that I showed you in the last video. So we move along. That's where we are now. And you see Mars is all alone, and he's right on top of this spica to harvest the fruits of Virgo. And this is very much like the story of, we've got a lot to have a look at. We've got the story of Romanus and Remus. Block on me. Yeah, I'm going to be jumping around a lot in this video. I'm sorry, because there is so much to relay to you. So where I live now, next to Lupiac, in a village, which is, our postcode is 32290, which is the skull and bones with the 9. We are next to Lupiac, and we hold the labyrinth, as you know. So this is the festival of Valentine. Now, I did my triple goddess first videos from Valentine's Day of this year, and I noticed that we had 3 weeks during Mercury retrograde. Mercury is retrograde again now since the 31st, and we have set off for that very day of 3 weeks of rain, non-stop rain. So that's water. And for Valentine's Day in February last year, we had 3 weeks of intense, incredible blue sky, no chemtrails during the festival of Lupercalia. So Lupercalia was an ancient pagan festival held. So this is for the birth of this beast, this man-child. This video is basically about this birth of the man-child. So there are 9 months between February and Halloween, and both for the 3 weeks of retrograde of Mercury, which gives us that triple again, or 3 sevens, which makes 21. As you know, we are living the 4th phase of a retrograde from November 2018, because in my opinion, Mercury is trying to imitate the cycle of the moon to integrate that energy of destruction. The moon Cancer is the portal of birth and life. It's Kali, death, so that we don't enter as we're meant to be into Capricorn creation, keeping us in that sun and the moon. And very important is that sine wave that I just showed you of that 369, the 8, and the sine wave, which is sin, the sine, the sin of that wave, which is a 369, which is basically the nucleus, the proton, the electron. It is the wave of life, which is 369, and or the triple L, which is. So this is, we're coming up to the creation of this baby, the man-child. I'm going to be showing you this, but this is again important to look at, this festival, which comes from Valentine. So although Valentine shares its name with a martyred Christian saint, some historians believe the holiday is actually an offshoot of Lupercalia. Unlike Valentine's Day, however, Lupercalia was a bloody, violent and sexually charged celebration awash with animal sacrifice, random matchmaking and coupling in the hopes of warding off evil spirits and infertility. So Romulus and Remus are. No one knows the exact origin of Lupercalia, which has been traced back as far as the 6th century BC. According to Roman legend, the ancient king Amulius ordered Romulus and Remus, his twin nephews and founders of Rome, to be thrown into the Tiber River to drown in retribution for their mother's broken vow of celibacy. So this again, it's all talking about Virgo. This is just the time. This is Virgo, who is the pre-sexual celibate. So this is what's going on right now with Mars right on top of Spica in Virgo, but we will come to that. His twin nephews and founders of Rome to be thrown into the Tiber River to drown in retribution for their mother's broken vow of celibacy. A servant took pity on them, however, and placed them inside a basket on the river instead. The river god carried the basket and the brothers downriver to a wild fig tree, where it became caught in the branches. The brothers were then rescued and cared for by the she-wolf in a den at the base of Palatine Hill, where Rome was founded. The twins were later adopted by a shepherd and his wife and learned their father's trade. So, you know, we're coming back, it's Cain and Abel. It's always the same story. It's the founding of Rome, the Roman Empire, which we're going to be coming to, which is just the same as ER for Queen Elizabeth. That stands for the Roman Empire. After killing the uncle who ordered their death, they found the cave den of the she-wolf who nurtured them and named it Lupercalia. Well, this is Lu, means wolf in French. Wolf backwards is flow. It is the flow. It is the sine wave. It is the sin. So this is the sin of when we entered, when the sun fell in Virgo from Libra. This, for me, is the time where women could no longer make babies without being impregnated. And Virgo was the discovery of the woman again, going through those 3 stages, 3, 6, 9, a triple goddess of bleeding, motherhood, old age. And that's interpreted in many different ways, the 3. It's thought Lupercalia took place to honour the she-wolf and please the Roman fertility god Lupercus. So this is really the beginning of the female discovering herself and rediscovering herself with the man, and through these fertility rituals and becoming one with nature and learning, this is so. We've got these 2 twins, ritual sacrifice. So the festival began at Lupercalia Cave with the sacrifice of 1 or more male goats, a representation of sexuality, and a dog. Well, we've got Sirius the dog. The sacrifices were performed by Luperci, a group of Roman priests. Afterwards, the foreheads of 2 naked Luperci were smeared with the animal's blood using the bloody sacrificial knife. The blood was then removed with a piece of milk-soaked wool as the Luperci laughed. Feasting began after the ritual sacrifice. When the feast of Lupercalia was over, the Luperci cut strips, also called thongs or fibula, of goat hide from the new sacrificed goats. Then they ran naked or nearly naked around Palatine, whipping any women within striking distance with the thongs. Many women welcomed the lashes and even bared their skin to receive the fertility consecration. It's open to speculation what the lashes represented. So, this is just wild sexual feast, which gives us 9 months later. The exact dates now that we're going through, November, and the dates that I'm going to be taking you through, and this birth of the ManChild. So the merging of Virgo and Gemini taking over from Virgo to become the twins, Romanus and Remus, to take over the twin peaks that we're entering now. We're going into a double age. We're going into masculine air Aquarius and feminine earth Capricorn, opposite Cancer, Cancer opposite Capricorn, and Leo is opposite Aquarius. So we will be in the full magic circle, because we will have the 4 colours, the 4 corners will be merged. We will have red, black on top, merged with white and yellow beneath, water and fire beneath. That's Solomon, and the true twin peaks is above, red and black. And I'm going to show you that. It's impossible to find. In fact, we're leaving Virgo and Pisces, and both those signs are feminine. So black and white, yin and yang, is not masculine, feminine. We are leaving a double feminine, as above, so below, age. And going into the twin peaks, we are going into a merged, we're going into masculine, fire and air, red and yellow, become one with white and black, feminine. And this is very much part of the deception. So you can go and read all that. But so this is exactly 9 months after, which is the journey of Venus. Venus makes the 5-pointed petal in the sky, which has been reduced to the 5-pointed star. And that's why Venus is so important in the Baphomet, because she is representing also coming into this 5th age, which is what they want, but we're leaving the wheel. We're going back to complete wholeness and the 4 corners fortune. So in the Bible, we have mentioned many times the man-child. Well, Gemini and Virgo are both children. Virgo is the pre-sexual, and Gemini is the twins, is the child. And they're going to create one child, which is to be this Antichrist, which I showed you in the last videos. I showed you this Virgo holding the child with her feet of the cock. So these are many different mentionings of the man-child, but the one that has struck me, which is the most important, is the 111. So, and she vowed a vow and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid Virgo, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but wilt give unto thine handmaid a man-child, then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall be no razor come upon his head. So Virgo is trying to herald herself as Cancer, Kali, which is the opposition that we're going into, and I'm going to show you this. Okay, these pictures and this text might help you with what I'm explaining right now. Consciousness is an ocean, and we are drops of that same swell. We came to experience separation, so to know as above, so below. We lowered our vibration through fear. As Persephone fell to become Virgo and live under the horizon, she became the triple goddess, high priestess of material alchemy, the 1, 2, 3 sin sine wave. She learnt how to live as the moon in 3 phases, 777 LLL angle angel. 21 is 3 phases, not 4 corners. LLL 777 is 28, is 10, is 1 again. So that's the phases of the moon, 28. So Virgo is trying to play the role of the true Virgin Mary Mother. She bled and gave birth and grew old, but refused to face death. The 4th corner, fortune. Pandora had opened the box that contained air and fire, Libra Aries, and dropped to the earth, Virgo, Mercury, opposite Pisces, water, Jupiter, black earth, white water, yin and yang, and split in 2. Her dam, it's a dam, or her soul broke. She left high cardinal air, masculine Libra Omega, ruled by Venus, and Aries Alpha, ruled by Mars, fire, and came tumbling after to forlorn Mary Magdalene, separated from her whole, Jesus, divine Jupiter, so the opposite sign to Virgo, which we're coming out of, this Pisces-Virgo opposition. The sun fell in Libra, Omega, 7th house, tribe of Dan, which is what we've just lived, the judgment, and we lived among our own shadows, walking flat against the wall. We saw only what was projected in front of us. We dare not look behind to see it was us all along. We are leaving the 12th door of a cycle. That door is the ethereal abyss of illusion and deception and spirituality. Pisces is the deep blue sea, ruled by Zeus, Jupiter, the Joker, the jockey, the Lord of Sagittarius, fire, masculine, and Pisces, water, feminine. Both mutable signs, fire and water. Both mutable signs. Gemini, air, masculine, and Virgo, earth, feminine, also mutable signs. They are ruled by Mercury. That is the MJ. Jupiter and Mercury. Mercury are the transformers. They are responsible for the transmutable CBB or BBC 322223 Skull and Bones Cross. They are the adapters to our temperaments, temperatures, tempos, torsos. They are on-off plugs. They rule the left-right spin, expansion, Jupiter, and communication, Mercury. Our ability to expand and to find our own philosophia, Jupiter, and voice, Mercury. But the transformers were so happy transforming us that they didn't want to lose their material playmates. MJ322, Skull and Bone, philosophers and media, technology, culture, vultures had a plan to imitate the fortune we now enter. After the last 12th door Pisces, opposite Virgo, yin and yang, both feminine, we return to the whole wheel and become the observers of as above, so below again. We return to alchemy. We enter the twin peaks, fire, earth, air. Fire, earth, air, and water merge as one again. So this is all the same. You know, I keep repeating this. Air, red, Aquarius, order, masculine, and earth, black, Capricorn, creation, feminine. Aquarius and Capricorn, the true twin peaks, ruled by Saturn, sit opposite. Water, white, Cancer, destruction, feminine, and fire, yellow, Leo, chaos, masculine. That is the fortune. Throughout the wheel, we've always just been in two binary oppositions. We're going back to the fortune, to the magic wheel. MJ, Mercury, and Jupiter decided to take the two signs ruled by Mercury, Gemini, air, masculine, Virgo, earth, feminine, and to trick us so we are closed back into the box of material existence, never to find heaven within again. They do this by keeping us in 9369 or 77721, which is the famous Aleister Crowley, liberty, equality, fraternity, and the famous book he wrote, Liber, which is just the Venus energy, Libra. Three corners of the pop-off nuclear bomb that will be set off when we go pop. Pop is our moment of passage through the narrow gateway, and we may well be coming up to this pop-off, which is about to set off the chaos, and they want to keep us in the chaos and to create a fake order. Three corners of the pop-off nuclear bomb, blah, 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 when we should have already found the last 7L corner, this past message. We were let out of the fishbowl 2,200 years ago so we could know both sides of the black and white chessboard, so we could learn how to swim, to see in the dark, deep blue sea, so to transmute, so we could know her. We have been living in a feminine age. All that negativity, it's negative. Feminine is negative. So we could know both sides of the black and white chessboard, so we could learn how to swim, so we could learn how to transmute ourselves back together again through the invisible mirage mirror. The medicine wheel has been perverted. It's black opposite white and yellow opposite red. There is not one correct image on internet to be found. This is the heart of the illusion. We need to be one with our own half to find the other half, to be a whole fortune. We are one, and it is through love of our own self that we become whole again with the ocean, finding peace in our own story and mapping the journey with our own crayon. This is why Uranus in Aries is so important, because it's when we find our I am that I am again. And as I say, I'm going to be showing you, but Uranus is sitting on that 33 degree throughout this passage that we're living now. And Aries is that V for victory. It is upside down. It's the Tav, Aleph Tav, Alpha Omega. It's the 22nd letter. And it is, that's why for the mirror effect we had at the end of the war, the last passage of Uranus in Aries was all preparation. Everything is always done in a double L twin way, because everything is mirror, mirror, opposition, reflecting. Looking right and left, seeing up and down, merging hot, dry, cold, wet, north, south, west and east as one is how we escape being closed in blackjack in the box. So let's just see these pictures I've thrown together, which I'm sure nobody understands, but I can explain to you a little bit here. So, you know, you either row your boat, or you learn to sail. Here we've got those 4. So again, that's like Joker, 10 Downing, got the East and the West. And we're now coming on to Aquarius that will be here, and Leo will be here, but the East and the West, they want to take over the whole wheel, and the West, Taurus, is, so we are being purged, we are conductors, and we are going to now be, this is very much why that Valentine we had 3 weeks of the retrograde of Mercury of bright hot sunshine. That's the fire, and we're now living 3 weeks, and it's happening very much where I live, because we've got, and I'm going to be showing you, we've got the Labyrinth, we've got the story of Saint Saturnin, who was a martyr. Maybe I'll just throw this in now, because I don't want this video to be too long. We've got so much to show you. I've got so much to show you. Yeah, this is Saint Martin. Now you see Saint Martin is 1111. It's the November 11th of each year. And this is what I was explaining to you last time, but that's not what I wanted to show you right now. We're going to come to that. Saint Saturnin is the name of the martyr who was pulled behind a bull, because he was basically saying what I'm saying, what Lavette is saying, and what many of us who are picking up on this, that we're returning to the true Twin Peaks. So in my village, in the road, we've got the church of Saint Saturnin with the Labyrinth on it. I have just discovered that on my land here, I have a piece of risen land where I actually have the vortex, the right-left spin. My house has been empty for 50 years. I arrived here for the eclipse of August 2017. And somehow I'm holding that balance of the 2 spins of the right and left. So this is Saint Saturnin of Toulouse, and this is the story. You can go and read it. And here we've got Notre Dame de Tours as well. I've got these dates, 360, which is 39 as well. I mean, there's just so much. You can just so much that you can connect all the time. Here we've got the Tripel. Okay, so let's come back to the pictures. It's Pandora's box, and this is the spin. It's the spin. This is the spin. This is the Analemma. It's the journey, the 8 that the sun makes, and we've just got this difference going on here. You see, it's uneven. It's no longer where we've got a spin. We've got to spin. We don't want to get stuck in the Orus Boreas. We have to spin. We have to spin. See, if we spin, we stay upright. Left, right, spin. So you see, this is where we're going. We're leaving Pisces. We're coming here, north, opposite south, Leo and Cancer. They are trying to keep this triangle between west, east, and south, so we don't get the top spin spin, and this is that the mutable fixed cardinal. We become one when we merge. We're not going to stay in the mutable bipolar energy. We're going to come into this fixed cardinal opposite. We'll no longer be on mutable. We'll be in Aquarius fixed, Capricorn cardinal, opposite Cancer cardinal, and Leo fixed, and that is going to be this red, white, yellow and red, masculine, feminine. Okay, here we've got the Fibonacci compared to the crystal spiral. So we've got explosion and implosion. Have to merge the both, negative and positive. This is the trap. So they want to keep us stuck in pi, in this pi alpha omega. It's the same thing, to keep us stuck in the beehive. This is how we're there. You know, this is the heating, the tempest that we're entering now. Jupiter goes. So I'm going to. There's a friend of mine from YouTube. I'll be giving you a link to his videos. He sent me a video where a man is talking about a tsunami coming. This is just the sine wave, the series of the waves. I'll show you this. So skull and bones is that mutable energy. Into the box, the fourth corner, the heart, the left and right, spin. So this is what I've got on my land here. I've actually got one of these vortexes that can go. So, you know, when my dog was sacrificed on Passover, on the day they killed 8 bulls in my village, this was going right off. There was no more balance. It was to break my heart. So I couldn't hold this middle beats. This is, they want to keep us in that child pre-sexual energy. This is from the new make of Picnic at Hanging Rock. And this is that sine wave. The reality, film reel, spinning. And so this is, you see, they don't give us a proper, actually that one, that's why I put this one here. It's still not. I've got one to show you. Explosion and implosion. This is all the fake thing as well. They've got yellow up here as north. So, you know, it's always lots of truths mixed. So we've got the fixed cross here, but it's not completely correct. Here we have Alice in Wonderland going through that spin. So here is Lars, who's done a proper image of the magic wheel. So you see we've got masculine opposite up here. And we've got the red and white, red, yellow and black. Okay. So 8. So you see the fixed cross, it can keep us stuck in this flower of life, or we actually spin. This is a spinning image. But this is just the fixed cross. We're not going on to the fixed cross. We're going into a twin peaks. This is why this is such a big thing with Gemini, Mercury being crowned, because it represents, it's the twins, and they want to take over and keep us in that twin energy, which, you know, they can't. We're going into we have implosion, explosion, the fourth key, the fourth corner, the LLL 777, and Mercury has just set off on his last key on the 31st. I'm going to be showing you. We're getting heated, so we've got the Skull and Bones cross, Gemini Sagittarius, Pisces Virgo, and we're coming into fixed and high cardinal. This is the twin peaks we're coming into. We need to have the spin of the 322 to get to this twin peaks. And this is what we've always been told. This is what the swastika has always been about, this age of transmutation. And this is the journeys of Venus, the petal that she makes in the sky. I actually had a little look at since the eclipse in 2017. This is the last 5th journey. So she started in Pisces. And we've got another, then there was another one on the 4th of the 10th. 2018, and that was the 40 days and 40 nights of last year, before Mercury set off on his first retrograde for 7/11/2018. And then we've got another one coming up on the 8th of the 5th, 2020, and that will be right over Westway, Aldebaran, right over the Bull. Venus rules the Taurus, female, and Libra, masculine. That's what's being inverted. Okay, so enough of that. I'm going to show you in job 33, crucifixion, I've shown you can come and read all this. We've got a 21/21 here too, which is 3/3 as well. Behold, I will bring evil upon thee, and will utterly sweep thee away, and will cut off from Ahab every man-child, and him that is shut up, and him that is left at large in Israel. And 3:3, let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night in which it was said, there is a man-child conceived. So this child is being conceived between the triple goddess, so they want to keep us in the sin, in the sine wave of 3, 6, 9. We should be able to become the 8, not trapped in it, but able to have an eternal frequency where we recreate, we become eventually androgynous again, we return from matter to spirit. They are trying to create the Immaculate Conception from Cancer with Virgo. Okay, this is very important to try and get. I'm just picking up on it myself as I explain it. I get it. So looking again at what we're coming up to, 11/11, and then I'm going to take you back to St. Martin Day's feast, which is 11/11, and the signing of the Armistice of peace. So we've got that V, that Tav, the Alpha Omega. So the Alpha Omega, the beginning and the end, Aleph Tav, the V for victory. The Armistice was signed in Compiègne, so that's where I lived the first part of my life for 20 years, where Joan of Arc was burnt. And that's where the signing in the forest where I lived for 20 years was signed on the 11/11. It was always a very big day in Compiègne. And this is the, from World War I to World War II, we've got the 3. As though the World War III is the triple goddess, it's the 369. It's the nucleus pop-off that we're about to live. Not everybody can return to that state of Immaculate Conception when we become the medicine wheel again. So this is the the date of 11/11, which is also the date of 2/2. So 1/1 is 2/2, which is our heart. We've got the conjunction Uranus on the 33rd degree, conjunct to the moon, almost full for this 3-phase part of 11, 12, 13th, before the shit begins to hit the fan. This is the conception of this child. You see here Mercury combust with the Sun, and Mars all by itself, just on Spica. Venus in detriment in Scorpio. Venus rules, is the ruler of Taurus, opposite. And this is the Alpha Amigo 33. So here again, let's see, 11. So we've got Mars right on top. That is the god of war, Mars, Aries. So he rules Scorpio where Venus is, and he rules Aries where the moon is conjunct with Uranus. And here they are. So many pages open. This is moving very slowly. So here is the moon right on top of the 33rd degree. Okay. With Uranus. Okay, there it is, right on the 33rd degree here. This is the 33rd degree. If I click here, you see 33. We come back, and Uranus is right next to the moon. Okay, so this is the Alpha Omega, the beginning and the end, on 33, crucifixion. And here we've got Mercury retrograding, the Sun right on the scales of Venus. So Venus in detriment, she's in her worst in Scorpio, right on top of Antares, which is the East. So the beast, the West is the best, the East. And Jupiter about to go any second to join everybody in this 9th house. We've got the famous 9. And 39 rituals that I've just taken you through, which is the 369, makes 12. And because they know that they need the 12th door to have the swastika spin, but they don't tell us that. They want to keep us in the sin, in the sine wave. They want to use Virgo to have this Immaculate Conception of the man-child. So man-child, because we're not in high cardinal. The end of 2020 on the 12th, that's the 12/12 that you just saw in the Bible. The 21st of the 12th, all these Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter will all move into high cardinal Earth creation. And then we will be in the Twin Peaks. But mainstream astrology has got us coming into this 5th age, 5-pointed star, Pi, the pirates of the mutable cross. That's why they use the pirate, they use that cross, because this is their way of keeping us. And they're going to do it through massive chaos. And that sine wave could well be some kind of tsunami. And this is, I will put the video which I have been looking through, but I don't like to mix it in with this video because it's far too confusing, but I'm going to give it to you in the links so you can, it's again a religious man talking about the return of the Lord Jesus, but that is Mars, that is the fake king. They demonize Saturn always, so we don't come back to this contraction, to this knowing, to this true Twin Peaks, when we'll be opposite Cancer, Leo, and we will have merged fire, earth, air and water, south, west, east and north. This is the north. This is what the Masons don't give us. They keep us in the 3. Okay, so let's go back. We've got this, and let's go now. Now, you must go and watch a video by this girl called Vicky S, who has done a wonderful job explaining Free Martins and Saint Martin. So this is the story of Saint Martin, which is the same person as Saint George, who kills the dragon. It's the last horseman. It's the same story as D'Artagnan, the last musketeer. So sorry, I've got so much open, it's just taking a second open. I don't want to close the whole thing down. Okay, we're back. So the Saint Free Martin Code Part 4, but you can go and watch all her parts, and this is explaining the free code. So Saint Martin of Tours, so Tours is again taking us back to the Taurus field. The hearts, Glastonbury Tours is the heart chakra. Now in this video that I'm going to be showing you, he's talking about a tsunami being set off in Hawaii, and Hawaii is the how, wow, right, left, pow, wow, the right left spin of the swastika. That's what how, wow is. I, captain. I, captain, he knows I, because he's merged his left and right spin. And I don't know why, because if you look at the chakras, here we go. I've got 2 open here. Oh, this is the problem, I've got so much open. If you have the patience. So this New Age person is saying that the heart chakra is in Hawaii. Okay, now Hawaii is on the same longitude, latitude as, and they've put the throat chakra as Glastonbury. Hawaii is on the same longitude, latitude as Mexico, where they also celebrate the Fetes de Morts, the celebration of death, which was the same day as the Rugby. And next to here, let me show you the sine wave of the chakras of Earth, which is this 369. Okay, so here we've got the heart chakra of Glastonbury. You see this same sine wave, this energy vortex. So they are, we've got down here, which is around the area of Hawaii. Hawaii is the great dragon, and the male dragon here. So you see there is definitely, and this is where the eclipse is going to be on Boxing Day. The crowning of their Lord of the Rings, boxing ring, which I took you through in the last. And interesting, the 13th gate is Moscow. Only opens if the other 12 are healthy. So it only opens if you can have healthy chakras, and you've merged your 7 chakras with your fortune, your brain, your Microsoft 7. That's why they had Biarritz. They had the G8 in Biarritz. That's that 8. So you see, this is the 8 merging back, but we've got 2. Otherwise, we stay separated in this sine wave. So in this video that I'll be showing you, he's talking about a big tsunami coming for the 18th, and a whole load of other things, a lot of stuff that joins up with what I'm saying. He talks about the crowning, he takes you through pet goat, I just want to keep this all connected with my astrology, because the last thing they want you to do is to join the dots with alchemy, with astrology, so they keep you very confused, but it's good to mix the both to see. So that video is this video here, the next 9/11 episode, 7/1 pet goat, and I will put that in the link. I was going to take you through it here, but I don't want to spend too long. We're going to come back now to Saint Martin. So Saint Martin's Day is the same day of the signing of the Armistice in Compiègne, where Joan of Arc was also crucified, the Ark of the Covenant. So St. Martin's Day, also known as the funeral of Saint Martin. Martin stag, this is the stag, this is Diana, the goddess of the hunt, the triple goddess, the 3 phases of the moon, as well as Old Halloween and Old Hallowmas Eve, is the funeral day of Saint Martin of Tours. Tours, Taurus. This is all again the Taurus fields. And is celebrated on November the 11th, 11/11 each year. This is the time when autumn wheat seeding was completed. So you see this mixture between September. Normally September is Virgo. And here we've got Nov, which is 9/11. November the 11th is 9/11 because it's really the 9th month in the Roman calendar. This is the time when autumn wheat seeding was completed and the annual slaughter of fattened cattle produced Martinmas beef. Historically, hiring fairs were held where farm labourers would seek new posts. Saint Martin of Tours was a Roman soldier who was baptized as an adult and became a bishop in a French town. The most famous legend concerning him was that he had once cut his cloak in half to share with a beggar during a snowstorm. So this is taking us back to the twins. I showed you in the last video. You must go and watch this video of Vicky S, all about St. Martin's. She takes you through the bull, the twins of the bulls to create, as in A Brave New World, 3 Martins as a sterile woman. 70% of women will be sterile. This is the end of the negative spin to keep us in this pre-adolescent Virgo, which they now turn into the man-child. Virgo and Gemini are ruled by Mercury. We have the crowning of Mercury that I'm showing you now. And this is their attempt to take over with this last retrograde. We're living at this very same time right now to be the 7777 last corner, to create the 28 days of the moon, to take the power of the moon and to stop us merging back. There will be no need of the sun and the moon. We enter the twin peaks. We've come to a spiritual level where we can create as women could create before. There's a name for it, Parthenogenesis or something. I can put that in a link of how women created before we fell under the horizon. You know, it's just part of the cycle. So they want to keep they want to create the artificial womb, and they want to take over the power of the fertility and of the true Virgin Mary, the age of Cancer, before we started these last 4 stages from Gemini, Taurus, Aries, Pisces, and we now enter Aquarius, but they don't tell us we're entering the Twin Peaks Capricorn because the fake astrology, the 23.5 tilt, is that fake distance of the constellation that we're not on. And yeah, I don't want to get too complicated here, but this is why it's so big, all these joining of the dots. So 11/11, and it's also the day of the Armistice. And you can go Armistice Day. Now Honolulu I have open because interesting, Honolulu, where he says that they will, you know, they're going to create, they're using that as the swastika right left, how wow energy to take over the negative positive spin. One of the main propaganda was guys during the Second World War was called Lord Pow Wow How Wow something. How Wow, he was called Lord How Wow. So You know, that's why they had that film opening in Hawaii of the Jupiter Neptune. So Honolulu here, see, absolutely Mexico, which is the celebration of death. It's on the same latitude, but yeah, I'll start trying to move around. I noticed that the longitude latitude of Honolulu is again 369. I'm not going to try and open it because it's 30, so 3, and the latitude is 69. So again, we've got the 369. This is to keep us in the 369 trap, because the real heart is Glastonbury, which makes a direct line. You see Glastonbury here makes a direct line with my village Aignan, where we have the labyrinth, and where I suspect these Romans began their takeover of the Holy Grail and of the Age of Europe. So this is what we're ending. That's why it was all in 64, because 64 is Biarritz, and Biarritz is where the Virgin Mary stands out to the Atlantic, turned to stone, petrified in salt, looking out to the Twin Peaks, North America, South America, red, black, which we enter, which, so you see that line is the connection of that heart chakra. It goes on the meridian line. That's why we had the Greenwich Olympics. And my last home was absolutely on that 00. I was there. I passed out unconscious for the opening of the Olympics. I didn't realize then that I was doing this work of holding energies, which I do completely unconsciously, as many of us do, not just myself, all of us. We're all coming back for this time to help people through. So the video I'll be showing you, sharing, is, for me, it's fear porn. My job is to bust spells, not to have, not to have people afraid. But let's go now and look, because I think we've covered a lot here. Let's look at these passages now. And so on the 12th, we have the absolute full moon. This is bang. This is Jupiter. So here's the sun. The moon is bang opposite in Aries, and next to Uranus on that 33rd degree. We've still got Venus here. We've got Mars just fading away. They've had their conception yesterday of the man-child on the 11/11. I've taken you through these 3 dates in my last video, but what's more interesting now, I'm also going to add another video by somebody else, a friend from YouTube, who's done a very good video on this 11/16 about Jupiter, very much like the film Jupiter Rising. Jupiter enters Sagittarius, and this is Jupiter rising. Let's just get Jupiter. He's still there, and then he moves. And she's done a very good video making connections between Jupiter and Mercury, their positions for 9/11 and today. So he's in Sagittarius, and he actually moves in on the 16th. Here we are, on that 2/2 again, 1/1. Now, on exactly, we've got him. So this is the 9th house. This is the 9, the 369. This is the 9th, and 17th. Now, this is the passage. So he's saying 8/1 is 9, 9/11. He's talking about the 18th. The 18th, we've got the sun. Another planet here. We've got Mercury. So Mercury is going to be finishing. When does Mercury finish his retrograde? Yeah, you see he finishes on the 21. Starts to move forward. It starts to move forward on the 23rd. So this passage, again, if you count the amount of days from the 2nd of the 11th to 11/11, we've got, is it 8 or 9? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is 9 days. So again, that 9 and 11, 22, so it starts moving forward. And what interests me is this 23rd, because we've got this conjunction here of Jupiter and Venus in Sagittarius. And so this is, you know, it really is the tempest opening. 23 is 32 and 11 is 2. This is 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, skull and bones. This is their, you know, this is really the set off of the end of this transmutation that we're living and this tempest. And yes, this is, look at this. And then we have the moon. And Mercury is about to finish its retrograde. It's done a journey around Antares, the wicked WW, Witch of the East. We've got the WWMM that I've explained between West and East, which is the 8888. And there we have the moon and the phase of that moon. So we have the full moon, so it's just got us, it's still black. It's black 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, yeah, so it's coming up to its black moon, so that is coming up to the sun. So we're going to have a black moon on the 28th. So here we go. So much more that I wanted to say. It's just very difficult for me, but at least this passage. So that full moon is going to be. Here's the moon. That black moon is going to be in Scorpio, so a new moon, a new phase. So this going on for me is really ending on the 23rd, and the moon is going to be very black, right on top of Spica. So for the Immaculate Conception, we had Mars creating the man-child on the 11/11, and now we've got the moon and just about to come and create a new moon cycle in Scorpio, and Mercury is just ending its retrograde. Let's just watch it. Yeah, just watch that. You see, he did his retrograde over Libra. Yeah, he began on Antares 7/11/2018. He ends here. That's their attempt. Oh yes. That was the other big thing on the 11th I have to show you. Is on the 2nd. Where was the moon? On the 2nd. There's a time she's on Cancer. And yes, so maybe this is why flood, tsunami, because we're going to have the moon on Cancer, 9/11, and destruction. So this is really this, and it will be a half moon. Okay, and that is exactly that will be their opportunity to embody Kali destruction. of the Cancer. So yeah, it's all very possible. It's all very possible. And I think when she was right on top of Alda, so that you can go when, yeah, this, you go and watch the video of my friend on the 16th. So this is like imitating 9/11. We're going to have that moon on the wand just here coming in Gemini. So there's the connection with 9/11. I'm going to let you watch her video for that. So at the same time as Jupiter goes into Sagittarius, we're going to have the moon in the same placing as it was. The Jupiter was here. You can see in the video, Jupiter was right here. So I'll let you watch our video to explain that. Okay, so basically I am showing with this video how they are using Virgo to keep us in the 369. Just a little bit more about here. We've got, you see the Gemini sign between the Empire. The Roman Empire is going to become the Roman Republic. That's why in France they had the Fifth Republic. They want to take us into this fixed orange communication, the 11th month, orange, fall, Novi, 9. They want to use the twins. The Saint Martin fast, 3 Martins, is about the bull, the energy of the bull, which is feminine earth, Isis, using her as the twins and creating this fake Immaculate Conception with Virgo, the triple goddess, and using the 4 phases of Mercury in his retrograde periods to create this. So if we just go through what I've written here, E is the 5th letter and R is the 18th. Okay, 5 and 18 is 32. 18, 19, 21, 22, yeah, it's 23. So 32, 23, same thing. 2 and 3, this is this gap that they've told us, the tilt of the earth. It's our DNA strands. It's the 32 paths of wisdom. Yes, the 32 paths of wisdom. The Kabbalah is the same shape of the church, my church in Aignan. Saint-Saturnin, Aignan. I start jumping around, it's going to start blocking. I try to do this very slowly because it would be great if I could just jump from picture to picture. This is the church now. You see there's a hexagon, beehive. This was the time of the Black Prince, pirates, and yeah, it's not. So the labyrinth is here. Village Aignan means spider. Aignan, Ishtar, Easter. That's why we kill 8 bulls. Village has got 8 legs. Aignan is araignée, spider. So this is this guy Saint-Saturnin who was killed behind the bull, dragged behind the bulls. But I wanted to show you Longitude Latitude. Is this? So you see the postcode is 322 Skull and Bones. It was a Gaulois. It was the capital of before. So they don't show, but the shape of the church is the same as the 32 paths. That's basically what I wanted to say, and it's that Kabbalah. It's the Kabbalah. It's in exactly the same shape, but if I start moving around, it's going to go. It's going to go. So you can go and look it up and have a look and find the church. And the story of the goose, they talk about the geese the geese being fattened up. You know, it's there is the foot of a goose. It's the five-pointed star. That's the feet of Momo that I've been showing you. So we go from Roman Empire ER, and we're about to enter the Roman Republic RR Romanus Remus, twin Gemini Mercury. So they're using this twin. There's the twin sign to make this fake twin peaks. RR, so the ManChild, RR Roman Empire, R is 18th letter, R is 1818 is 9966, or 1818 is 3639. Okay, so 1116 to 1123. 11 is 9, Nove, 9, Ember, so 11, 11. 39 frozen by Jack, Jupiter, Frost. 38 adults and 1 man-child. 38 is 11 and 1. So 1111 is also the slash between, it can be used as the 1. And this is, as in the Bible, 111, and she vowed a vow and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid, and remember me, Virgo, Mars, on Spica now, and not forget thine handmaid, but wilt give unto thine handmaid a man-child, then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life. So Mars, Ra, wanting to continue as the ruler. Mars wars, and there shall no razor come upon his head. All roads lead to Roma. So again, let me just go through these pictures. $39, Lord of the Rings. 3 and 9 is 12. That 9 is also a 6. 369. It's Rolls Royce, Range Rover. And that you see in the middle is that Gemini. There, the twins, Romanus and Remus. Queen, 39. 2 corners, JL, 1010, XX. Gemini. And it's about to become the fake twin peaks, and they catch our heart. 22, 2020, we entered 2020. Okay, and that's back to the beginning. Right, so the tempest, beast, east beast has begun. We are being turned hot and cold, on and off, for maximum effect. We are having a trip LL777 goddess 21 days mirror mirage effect. 9 months ago, journey of Venus is 9 months. 9 is also the house of Sagittarius. Jupiter enters on the 11/16 Sagittarius to begin the good, the bad, and the ugly. The guy who did this film is RR. I showed you that in the last, like Game of Thrones. RR Martin, St. Martin Fast, Game of Thrones. So the good, the bad, the ugly, Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto in Sagittarius for 1 year. For Valentine's Day, Lupercalia, RR Romanus and Remus twins. Valentine Halloween Festival. We were given 3 weeks of complete sunshine, not one cloud in the sky. I did a video about it 9 months ago. You go see my triple goddess videos. There are 3 of them. I said it was a ritual, and now as we approach the crowning of Mercury to become the fake sun god, we are having 3 weeks of non-stop rain, exactly during Mercury's retrograde of 3 weeks both times. It's normal. Our postcode is 32233 Skull and Bows, and the labyrinth is here, as is Lupiac. Lu, Wolf, 4th corner. That's why D'Artagnan is celebrated to be born in Lupiac, because this is their Lone Ranger, Elon Scum, Musk, Lone Scum, the last corner. So we live the ritual full blow. Birth of Rosemary's baby, the man-child is crowned this 11/11, 9/11 November. 11th month is 9 months in Roman calendar. The orange month of fall, 369, gain Mercury. That's why Orange Communication was set up in France. And the phone number is always 369 with a few O's here and there. And MJ creation, Mercury rules the 7/7/21 day retro period, and Jupiter rules fire and sun, ice and water. So this is how they play. All we at her is manipulated on Earth. Keep the sun within shining, it's just a game and they will lose. And this is why I expose this, because if you can see it, we break the spell. Okay, so another thing. Oops, I move along, please. Up. Currently, Uranus is retro in Aries on 33° star Sheraton Twin Towers. Aries ruled by Mars, as Jupiter is still in Scorpio, ruled by Mars. Mars, Jupiter are of the energy of Sirius. Don't forget, this is all about Sirius the Great, Lord of the Fortune Corners, where head of Snake Rahu sits currently on Sirius. Mars is alone in Virgo and will be on the brightest star of Virgo Spica to reap the wealth of Virgo, to create this Immaculate Conception. The High Priestess, so this is the Black Madonna, the High Priestess, and to end the female twin partner to Gemini, so to merge as one beast. 111, Venus conjunct Antares, beast of the East, and Moon conjunct Uranus, both on the 33rd degree. Mercury retro, 2 does his last corner, 4th retrograde since 7/11, which is 9/11. 7 is Sept, 9th month, and this is, we've come back. So we're back, we've done a circle. This is how they're trying to use this black magic. 2018 to mark the beast. His attempt to imitate the energy of the moons, 28th day, 4 angles, 7777 LLLL, when Mercury does 3, which I've explained all this. And this is going to be the birth of the Green Man, hence South Africa winning. If you go look at the flag of South Africa, it is the Y of the Yoni, of the Yon, and it's the green in the middle of the red, black, yellow. And this is their attempt to make the 4th corner. And they're putting green in when, you know, there is no green. The magic circle is red, yellow, masculine, fire and air, and white, black, feminine, water and earth. And the end of 2020 is the true entry. We've just got to get through this next year. So job 33, let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night in which it was said, there is a man-child conceived. Man-child, the Black Madonna. Okay, so I hope that you have been able to join the dots with me. This is all very important, these phases. So we've got 9 days from the 11/2, the rugby match, to 11/11 Armistice, the day you can go and look up about Armistice. I didn't take you there because it's just too difficult to open up everything. And then we have this passage from 11/11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, which is 12 days from 11/11 to the 23rd. And we'll just finish with that image again of the 23rd. So it will be just before, we've got this just before the new black moon, and we've got this Venus and Saturn conjunction, Venus in detriment in Scorpio, and Mars still here, and the moon after having done so on the 24th, so that would make 13 days from the 11/11 to the 24th. That's their 13, that's their 13th sign. That is the end of this ritual before the big solar eclipse on Boxing Day, where they've crowned their Lord of the Rings. Okay, thank you for being so patient with me. Sending you so much love. Bye.